Okay.
Morning practitioners, I'm waiting for our other speaker, Remina, to join us. Qinile has joined us and we will start shortly. Thank you.
Yeah. Naledi, good morning.
Morning, Crystal. How can I help you? We're waiting for...
Remina. It's Remina speaking.
Oh, okay, because you didn't inform me you're going to join with a different name. I was waiting for you.
Hey, when I just realized now that my
Okay,
daughter was on my laptop. Apologies for that.
Okay, no problem. Good morning, practitioners. Apologies for that. The time is exactly 10:03. Welcome to our transformation webinar this morning. Welcome, practitioners, candidates, non-principals, and principal practitioners. And today's topic that we wanted to touch on, we wanted to focus on building resilience, realtors in this, competitive environment that we are in. So the purpose is to empower you and we ensure that you understand the role of triple BEE in the sector, especially as business owners for some of you who are in the session. So we appreciate your presence today and other colleagues who are going to join us. They will find us in the proceedings. I have two speakers who are coming from external. The first speaker that is going to give us a presentation, her name is Ms. Remina Matebula, and she's been in the industry for many, many years. She's a real estate entrepreneur with 5 years experience. She's passionate about the industry in helping clients navigate the real estate sector. And, she has done some of the work in homes selling, making sure there's value for money and assisting some of the clients in investing in the property. She's known for market knowledge, negotiation skills, and she can also personalize your portfolio. So I think her skills and experiences, and because she started, in the transformation space right as a candidate, and she knows how it can be difficult in dealing with this competition. So I think today she just wants to give information and empower you on, what happens when it gets tough, if you don't get that stock, or if you get a client and you're about to take them to the bank and you're closer to signing the deal and they pull out, you can imagine how that can be demoralizing, in this space. Or you even find a client, but you find that no, they do not qualify. And we know that this is a career, and most property practitioners rely on the commission to earn a living, for that. So these are, some of the nuances that we want to tackle them. So this webinar today, it's going to be a relaxed discussion. We just want you to engage and ask those questions so that you leave empowered the way her topic says. She comes with 5 years of acquiring this knowledge. She's a strategic marketer and she's good in negotiation expertise. And, she's been selling and buying of properties in her space, but she will tell us more about that when she goes into her presentation. She's not alone. There's a co-speaker today. Her name is Ms. Gqina Mahlaba. She is also a seasoned South African transformation specialist entrepreneur, and she's also a coach. She's based here in Johannesburg. She is the founder and managing director of Transformation Consulting and 100% Black women-owned enterprise since 2017. So you can imagine that she has over 15 years of expertise in the triple BE consulting and advisory development. She's worked in, some of the companies ESG, and she's been around environmental sustainability practitioner. Excuse me, colleagues, I just have a bit of a throat, but we will navigate today. Gqina also, she provides in her work and space, practical strategies that will help your organizations. I think you will just learn from her today, how she made it into this space by navigating the complexities, especially in transformation as it is. Because, when we say transformation, I know the stereotype and the negative connotation that, you wanted to associate it with almost too much of a struggle and a lack of growth. And I think we need to change that narrative that, you can start as a PDI, but you become a mogul in the entrepreneur space, right? And just by tapping into those opportunities, because opportunities don't only look at financial, but also non-financial. What can we get from the training? What can we get from people who understand how marketing works? We know technology is changing. Things are becoming innovative now. We know that there's AI. So those property practitioners who are already 10 steps ahead of using some of these innovation, they've tapped into those markets. And I think today, with their experiences, ask them all the question that, you feel they can assist you, especially candidates as you are entering, under those transformation programs. You're going to end up being entrepreneurs one day. So I think this is a platform for you to engage. But before I allow Remina to start with her presentation today, I just want to go quickly through the housekeeping rules. Everyone will be muted. It's for a reason. We want to allow all the presentations to take place, but we're going to unmute you after they have spoken so that we can engage in those questions. But for now, even if you have a question while they're presenting, please put your questions on the comments on the Q&A space. The transformation team is here with me today. They will also be monitoring some of the questions that you're going to put on the Q&A space, and we will deal with them after the presentations. So the session, colleagues, is being recorded. This is for learning references. We're going to put it on the PPRA YouTube TV after the webinar, and it's also for internal use reporting for audit purposes. And if you have technical issues, I request that you log out and you log in again using the same link. And maybe the videos will be off again so that, we support the bandwidth. And feel free to engage today. This is a safe space. Ask questions and comment. And also I want to say our transformation team and our supervisor, they've also joined the webinar today. And if there's questions unrelated to the webinar, because we must remember the speakers are coming from external. If you put a question, put the email so that we can send it for you to the relevant department within PPRA and they can assist. But if it's questions relating to transformation, opportunity, empowerment, the very same webinar we are in, let's engage on those. We will tackle them together. I am not going to waste time. Let me allow also, Remina, please flag your presentation. I have given you access to unmute and take us through your slides. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, Naledi. I think I'm gonna need some assistance in terms of how you should be able to see my presentation. I have it on my screen. I don't know if you are able to see it. Please help me.
Can I
Yes.
ask that you switch off your video so that it doesn't break for others, and we present through audio?
Okay. I have not done this before. Please pardon me on that one.
Don't worry, we are here to support you. Go to share.
Share there. Yes. And then.
And we see where it says window on the drop down.
On
Or do you want
yeah.
me to share for you? You can email me. I can share for you quickly. Or you
I
can
have done that already. I emailed it to you. Check your emails.
Okay,
it should be there already. Because I knew that I may struggle a little bit. I've never done actually an online presentation like this.
Okay, there's your presentation. In the meantime, can I ask that you switch off your video, please?
Video. Is it off now?
Yes, thank you so much. I've shared the presentation. Before I put it on slide mode, can I ask colleagues to give us the thumbs up if you see the slides? Okay, they can see your presentation. Can you see your presentation,
Yes.
presenter?
Yes,
Okay.
I can. Thank you so much.
Okay, we may start.
Okay. Thank you, Naledi. Good morning, everybody. As Naledi said, my name is Remina Matebula, and she has already given the background of where I come from and how I came to be a presenter today. I will be talking to the topic, Building Resilient Realtors Through Empowerment. I suggested this topic that I can speak to it because I believe that I am the example of how possible it is that we can stay on. I know that some of the headaches of the transformation team is to have new agents who join, but also those who are going to stay in. The level of dropout is very high. And because I started somewhere also, and I went through the problems that the new entrances in the industry are facing, I felt the urge to ask and say, I can help. Please allow me. And I was invited to come and do this presentation. Just briefly, I started in 2019 in the real estate industry, and I joined the Century 21 then in Silver Lakes up to 2022. And then in 2023, I joined the Real Estate Services, and I am currently working under their banner. The reason why I'm here also is that I have written a proposal because I saw there is a transformation agenda going on. There is a lot of initiatives going on. And I wrote a proposal to say, my hand is up. And if there are any opportunities where I can come in and share my experiences, I will be glad to do that. I'm not going to be presenting the proposal that I presented or sent to the PPRA, but I'm rather I have customized it a little bit into the experiences that I went through when I joined the real estate industry. It was fun. It is still fun for me. And I strongly believe that it can be fun for everyone, as long as we have the right skills and we have the right attitude to do what it takes to stay. Anyone can do it. So with the presentation outline that I've put together, I didn't have to talk about a lot of terminologies, but I chose only the two that were very attractive for me. The first one is the real estate industry itself. I'll talk about that. The second point that I will be sharing with you is first things first. What do you have to do first before you even look for an agency? And then we go to how to become a real estate agent. This is obvious. We probably all who are here today, we know the requirements of the PPRA. I won't waste time on that. And solving the problem. Every day what we do, we are solving the property hunt problem of our client. And I will share my experiences in going through my day-to-day activities with my clients. Why do real estate agents drop out? I'll share one or two things, but my talk is actually around the reasons why many don't make it and many drop out. I am still here, and the transformation agenda, I'll look at the expectations, my expectations, which we may all be sharing what we expect from the transformation agenda, and a little bit of a way forward. That is what I will share with you today. Next slide. Yes. I looked at the real estate industry. There are definitions that one can put together. I didn't even do that in detail. I just realized that this is the industry that deals with the development, the ownership, leasing, and management of properties. According to the latest reports, it contributed 191 billion to the GDP and the 46 billion into the fiscus. If we look at the statistics in 2023, mid-2023, together with other sister industries, the finances and the services sector, it contributed to the GDP 62.61%. I am interested in that. I also looked at the quarterly reports from the South African Reserve Bank, and in Q2 of this year, it contributed the trio, that is the finances, the services, and the real estate industry. They together contributed 1.557 trillion. That brings me to the next definition that I became so interested in, and I thought we should also pitch it in this discussion. The real estate agent. Who are we? We are assisting our clients in buying and selling, renting and managing properties. But for me, we are the VIPs in this industry. And I feel proud to say that, because if we look at statistics, 90% of the transactions are handled by us, real estate agents, every day. We put so much work into doing just that. Only 5 to 10% are FISPOs, the sales by owners. So I say we are the VIPs in this industry, not to brag, not to sound fancy, but it's a source of my motivation. I get motivated every day and I feel like a VIP. When I go to work, when I go to my appointments, I contribute 90% of the work that goes into the economy of the country. So for me, we have to be as proud. Before I leave this slide, I have to share with you, when we're talking about how frustrating the work of real estate is, my friend put it very well. I think I like that. She said, it's a very unthankful job. And given that we sometimes feel it's an unthankful job when we get rejected, when people don't sign, when they promised to sign, at the end of the day, we get it going. And I like that. And I think staying in and getting continuously motivated, we are the VIPs in this industry. Next slide. Oh, yeah. Okay. The chart for the 2003, I think you've seen that. It's fine. We can go to the next slide. Okay, that's the one that Naledi came back to. Thank you, Naledi. When anyone think of joining the real estate industry, Some of us, we just think, okay, I have to find an agency and then join and then get training. For me, it is not just that. For me, it is first asking yourself the first questions. What motivates you into wanting to join this highly competitive industry, this challenging industry, this hopeless industry in terms of income and how inconsistent it is. And when I look at myself before I even thought about which agency to join, I knew that I'm motivated by helping people. I love working with people. I love helping people solve their problems. I ticked that box. The second one was the learning part of real estate work. I knew that I love new things all the time. I get quickly bored if I have to do the same thing over and over again without changes. And I looked forward. I said, new properties every day means new people every day, means shooting those photos every day, getting new stock, meeting new owners, doing my comparative market analysis. Although that's part of the work, I won't be doing it on one house. I'll be doing it on different houses every day. And that was a box that I also thought it allows me. I enjoy negotiation. That is the third one. And I think everyone, if you haven't done it, you still have time to can do it. Negotiating in this industry is just drives me. I feel so happy to have to meet client every day. And in this environment, I don't only meet owners, I meet both owners and buyers. And that dual agency way of doing things excites me every day because I have to be prepared. Some of us may say, okay, I'm motivated by money, which is not a bad thing. We all want money. We all love money. I think key is just understanding what motivates you and be sure that when you get in the real estate, you are going to be able to survive on what it takes. It is a lucrative business. The real estate industry, you can make a lot of money. However, there are challenges in terms of the income that comes in. There's a lot of inconsistencies. There's a lot of turbulence that one has to deal with. For me, you have to develop that financial intelligence, be able to budget, be able to save, be able to even save for your taxes. Next slide. After one has answered all the questions, which I did, then it was time for me to look for an agency. I didn't look any further. There was Century 21 Silver Lakes, where I used to pass there every day when I was dropping my kids at school. And there was this agent that I always noticed, and we even approached him when we wanted to buy a house. He was called Benny. And I'm going to share with you a little bit on that because I noticed Benny because every day when we passed on that road, Silver Lakes Road, going to Cradle to Crayons for crèche children, and then going to Hazeldean, Curo Hazeldean, Benny was always on the street. Either he was putting the boards, either he was talking to his clients. He loved his job. That's basically what I want to share with everybody. As a real estate agent, you have to love your job. And that guy loved his job such that when I think of agencies, I didn't think about anything else. I thought about Benny. And then I went to their offices. Unfortunately, he passed on. May his soul rest in peace. But I found another willing and exciting principal, Nico van Rooyen, who took me in, went through the chat with him. It wasn't really an interview. It was just a simple chat. And I couldn't believe how it was easy to say, when do you want to start? I said, tomorrow. He said, come. And that's how I joined. Following day, he gave me farming area, he gave me everything, how to access the code of conduct, the training program that I have to go through was called the Create 21, offered by the Century 21. It's an online training program with videos that you have to go through every day. I still love that way of doing things because every day that program, you will be trained what you do. You don't do the whole program in 1 day or 2 days, even if you're super. You have to do what you need to do for the day and then put it in practice, whether it's planning your time to do what, to do calls, to do cold calls, or anything. So it took me step by step on how to do things. And after that, I then got the PPRA FFC certificate in, I think it was in a week or two. And then after the PPRA certificate, then it was the graduation after 21 days of the Create 21 program. To date, I have also achieved my PDE for full-time real estate agent status. I got 66% pass mark when I needed only 50. And that really makes me proud. So we can go to the next slide. Yes. My presentation is going to be really talking more about some of the reasons. I try to pick a few because if I have to list many, we will sit here forever. And I didn't even know how much time I have. I didn't even want to ask because I felt like I need to share so much. So let me just prepare. I'll see how far I go. I'm going to try and run through some of the slides, but I just picked the first two: financial instability and unrealistic expectations. These are the major causes of dropout in real estate. And I think this is what causes headache now for the transformation initiatives, because by all means, I do believe that they also want to make sure that they guide through the real estate agents on how to manage this, especially the new ones who are just coming in. I still see myself as new. 5 years is nothing because there are people with many, many years of experience. And I'm still also trying to find my way, but I'm also happy that I went this far. 5 years can be seen as a lot for those that I have seen dropping out in just a month or two after joining, because of the frustrations of lack of finances, because of the frustrations of, expectations that they felt they will not be met. Thank you. Next slide. Okay. In this slide, I started looking at some of those skills and qualities that one will need in detail to survive in this highly competitive industry, the real estate industry. The first one that I have there is self-discipline and motivation. And by all means, we are that my own boss gang. And it reminds me of university, because at university, no one will check if you're coming to class or not. No one will check if you submitted your assignment. No one will check if you came for your exam. It's the same arrangement, because we are grown-ups, we are adults. The students who go to university are also adults. So you have to be prepared, and you have to ask yourself, if you're not disciplined, you're not going to make it. Start building it now, because the interest already is there. What I did, I managed my own schedule very well. I had family responsibilities. I had to pick up kids and drop from school to school. And although sometimes you rotate with the husband, blah, 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 but you have to be disciplined in how you do the house chores, the housework, versus doing work in real estate, because otherwise you are free not to do it if you are not committed, if you are not disciplined enough. I respected appointments with my clients. I can stand now on top of the roof and say I was never late for one appointment. No one will say otherwise. That's how I took it serious. I never looked for excuses. It's human nature. Sometimes when you have this freedom to go or not to go to work, you may look for reasons. Let me call that client and tell them how I'm caught up in traffic. In traffic, I mean, in Gauteng, traffic is no longer an excuse. Anyone who make excuse on traffic, I didn't want to be seen like I'm not serious. So I never made any excuse about traffic. If you know your area very well, you know how to calculate how to get from point 1 to point B, because you have to take traffic into consideration. My reputation was very important, and it still is. And the professionalism that I wanted to be treated with, I had to live it. And that's how my clients knew me. The financial instability that I mentioned below, that it's above, is that, based on the nature of the job, commission-based, every day you work, but month end, there is no salary coming in. You have to work even more, and then you have to work even more. Only God knows when you're going to get your first commission. It's still hard for me to say a newly graduate person or a new person who want to join can just simply come in without any 10 rand or something to start, because real estate is like you're starting your own business, and you have to have the base to do that. So with me, I had a little bit of stipend from the property that I was renting out, which I owned. So it was the cushion that I could carry on month to month until I start getting my commission and then building on that. So it remains a challenge for the transformation team now. It remains to be seen. I look forward to really see how this is going to be minimized. It may not be eliminated at all, but how the new entrances will be helped to juggle around this challenge. The next one is rejection or failure. Rejection and real estate go together like hand in glove. It is a daily thing. It is what we experience daily. And my approach was that I have to build my emotional resilience here. Otherwise, I'm going to drop out. Otherwise, I'm going to crash, because it affects your emotion for the day. It scares you. It demoralizes you. It can affect your self-esteem if you don't prepare properly. So I had to make sure that I keep up with my self-care routine of exercising. I had to make sure that I keep up with my friends just to wind down sometimes, and business relationships that were positive. I made sure that I keep up with that. And the saying became right that when you lose, for me, don't lose the lesson, because whatever caused that rejection, I made sure that I understand why, but I never wasted my time dwelling on that failure. I also knew that once this door opened, the other one is gonna, once the door closed, the other one is gonna open. So I looked around all the time, what door is open, and then I move on like that. But on this slide, I also felt it is very important to share the experience with experienced real estate agents in those offices that we sit. I went to the office every day when I was doing my 21 days, first 21 days, because I realized the benefit of this passive learning. When I was in the office, I would hear the receptionist when she speaks to customers and what she says and how she is resolving issues. The experienced agents sitting there making their cold calls, how they were. I was learning as I was sitting there, and this rejection thing, I could see that it's not about you being new. It is there. It is part of the work, and how experienced agents were also handling this, to me was like, it's not a big deal. I'm not the only one because I'm new. Because sometimes when you sit in your corner, you'll think, maybe it's because I'm new and I don't know much. And no, rejection happens all the time to anyone experienced or you just new. So you just have to develop the skill, how you deal with it and move on. Next slide. As we continue with a few more of the qualities that we need, continuous learning and staying updated on real estate market trends, laws, and regulations. When I look at this, I just can relate with what happens in the real estate offices every day. First and foremost, we have the continuous professional development, which is a lifelong learning for everyone. It's key to success, even in real estate. Over and above that, there are other sources of information where you can tap in and see what's going on and capacitate yourself. The local property magazines, I always go there. The Property 24, just where we put our adverts, at the bottom, there is plenty of information that one can just go through and learn and be current with what is happening in the property market. The next point is the networking and building relationships. This is really close to my heart because without people, you may not do much. Networking, I'm always reminded when I started, within the first 3 months, I had 3 offers on the table because I started with which is called the circle of friends. My circle of friends plus my husband's circle of friends, they came running. It was like, we've been waiting for you. They listed their properties and I even got some buying. So in the first 3 months, I had 3 approved offers, which were en route to transferring into a new owner. Besides, I think in the real estate industry, we are very lucky because we have conveyancers, we have bond originators who are always chasing to share information with us. They love us and they know we need them. So they always are behind us to say, hey, this is what has changed in the law. This is the new regulations. FICA says you must do this and this. And bond originators are there. Before you know it on the news, bond originator has already told you about the new interest rate. And I think we are lucky because the conveyancers, the lawyers, they give us a lot of information, advice for free. And I think it is that bottom line that there is a mutual benefit that we all look forward to reap. And that is a good thing. I think that keeps me going, that if I need this, if I need that, there are conveyancers who will give you your cell number their cell number to say, if you need something, call me. And that makes you comfortable that I don't see myself going through the courts and doing this because I did something wrong. Apart from using your code of conduct, you also have lawyers who are willing to give you advice for free. The negotiating in the client's interest, the nature of the work that we do. And in South Africa, we are working on dual agency, where I have to use my negotiation skills to convince the buyer, convince the seller. And how do you do that if you don't, for example, have enough knowledge to be able to sell what you are selling to the buyer and what you are selling to the owner? So that keeps me very excited every day. And when I see finally I'm scoring a deal, I feel so happy. What I like also about this kind of approach is that you remain neutral. You can never side with the seller. You can never side with the buyer. We all like going to benefit on the same transaction. So you disclose as much information as it's required by the law. For example, if you are representing the seller, when you advise the seller before you even meet buyers, you are going to make sure that you also caution them or advise them about the consequences of hiding some of the defaults in the property, for example. When you get the buyer also, who also has got interest to save as much money as they can, you are able to give them proper advice in terms of the property they're looking at versus their requirements. If it meets all their requirements, why can't they pay for the amount required? Or if they want to negotiate, you advise them, if you want to negotiate, tell me how you're going to negotiate. What are the aspects that are leading you to want to offer less? You do that neutrally, because at the end of the day, there is your commission in the middle. You also have an interest in a situation where everybody walk away happier. In that process, you're also going to be honest in whatever advice you provide to your clients. And I think I have highlighted just a few. There are many reasons why real estate agents sometimes fail and then they drop out. And we just have to master those qualities that I have highlighted, so that we keep going and we are always in the business and having fun. I take it as fun because I enjoy every day. I enjoy everything that I do with my clients. So in my proposal, I have also shared some of the approaches that I strongly feel that with the transformation agenda now in the real estate industry, we have to get out of the norm and try to reach out, because as defined in the National Development Plan, there are target groups that the transformation agenda is trying to address. The previously disadvantaged individuals, and including the youth who are roaming around the streets without a job. How then the transformation agenda is going to meet some of those requirements, so that we have an inclusive economy. For me, new entrances really need a take me by hand. I have been there and I have seen how frustrating it is if you just have to rely on the internet here and then rely on the hearsay. You know, even if you have to find information yourself, sometimes you need guidance on where to find information. You know, those pointers are very important. For me, the new entrances require a very dedicated supervision, which I personally don't think I had. I had supervision, but it was like here and there. And maybe it's because I was also experienced. I have worked many years before, and a lot of things I could do myself. But I always ask myself, those who are new from class, then how do they then survive in this situation? Chances are many of them don't. Hence, we have a high dropout rate. Is because of the frustrations. And this leads me to my next point of saying, transformation is the agenda of government, not of those supervisors or experienced agents who depend on commission for an income. And I say this not in a negative manner, but in a way to say the reality is that an experienced agent is going to chase deals, and they have limited time to dedicate to the new learners, because new learners who really need a take me by hand approach, they need time. And if you know that month end there's no commission, if I spend too much time just doing training and then they don't put as much time as they should, because they just don't have. They just don't have. That can be forgiven by I think by anyone who understand. And then the transformation agenda, there are probably some incentives. I haven't really dwelled into more details of some of the incentives, but I'm aware that there are some incentives, and there are initiatives that will be trying to address this need. My next point is on the hybrid approach proposal, where I really think we are in a computer age, and we are virtual by all means. Most of the time, it's easy. Academies can reach the whole country in just one sitting, where everybody can just sit around the computer, and then training is provided and other things over the internet. But there is an issue. If there is really a need to reach out to those PDIs, I am one. I know the struggles. The cost of data to access online material, it's limiting, and it's just overwhelming, and it's sometimes not affordable by some who could otherwise do very well in helping clients find homes, in helping clients find properties for their investment. Apart from that, I personally never underestimate the power of face-to-face interactions in learning and in teaching. So I still feel face-to-face interactions should just be incorporated somehow in this transformation agenda and initiatives that are going to be happening. And over and above, there is the cyberphobia, where people just don't like computers, and they just fear the computers, and they prefer to rather use other ways to do business. And because we know that there are many jobs that can be created where individuals can make an income from real estate, the question is then, how in the transformation initiatives are we going to try and minimize the risk of still excluding a lot of people out of the economic benefits that are created by the real estate industry. So for me, I'm interested in seeing going forward how far along to pick up the PDIs will this agenda, the transformation agenda, go. And with my proposal, I was saying I want to be part. And I do believe that I will be part. This is the beginning of being part of that agenda. My concluding slides. From here, I'm now concluding. And I looked at the competitiveness nature of the real estate market, and it is very, very interesting, and it is the biggest challenge. And I always want to take challenges. And with this one, I told myself, I'm going to stand up to the challenge. And the first and foremost things that I did was to capacitate myself. And together with being passionate about helping others, I found doing the real work day to day being so easy for me and being fun instead of being a hazard. So this is the first certificate. I'm going to take you through all the certificates. Of course, if you are a real estate agent, and you cannot benefit anything before you achieve that. So that was the first certificate after, I think, a week or so, when I was still with Century 21. And then the next certificate is the Create 21 certificate in the next slide. And that is when I completed my 21 days training, and then I achieved that. And I was very happy that I am now qualified. I have gone through all the training. That means I know almost every basic that I need to know. The next slide, within the first 3 months, I was awarded a Rookie of the Month award. And unfortunately, I don't have a copy of the certificate with me where I am. And yeah, within 3 months, so I'm the rookie there. My picture is that rookie. And I was also very happy. And all this were so encouraging. And the next slide, yes, this one, it was in 2021. Remember that 2022 was that ugly year where COVID came, and we all had to stop. Our income stopped. I still don't like that year. But after the 2020, I was back up and running like it has never happened. And I was so happy that in Century 21, they have this 21 best agents that they pitch every month. And voila, there I was one of the 21 best agents. I could not believe this. And this graph, I take it wherever I go because it defined how much work I was putting in and the result. This is a feedback that we all look forward to. And the interesting part about this graph, if I zoom in, I never paid attention. I always counted from top, and then I said, I'm number 11. If you see, my name is Remina Matebula de Pretoria. I was number 11, but when I was preparing this presentation, I also counted from the bottom. I'm still number 11. So it still excites me like it happened yesterday. And I was still an intern. And immediately when I received my thank you in the form of commission, I got increased. I got increased and I realized how much work I put in. And Naledi, please allow me and the audience to say the transformation agenda particularly does highlight the need to reach out to PDIs. I am a PDI myself. And if you look at this graph, go back to that graph, I always feel proud that it looks like I was the only PDI there with probably less than 10 years experience or something. But it also made me happy and it kept me going. It really kept me going. I may not be the only one, but I'm not even going to inquire because that is my source of motivation. I feel happy and I feel proud about it. Then we can go to the next slide. Okay. The amount of work that you put in, it does always pay off. In 2022, I sold a total of 19 million worth of properties when I was still an intern. Also, that was a source of motivation. I didn't mind. I would go to the street. You can see I just park there and then put my little things there and my cooler bag because it's hot. And then I'll sit there. And the power that comes with being visible. Hence, I will always value the power of face-to-face interaction. This is in front of Estate in Mooikloof. And once they see you and you are an agent, they wave, they come and speak to you, they take your cards. When you least expect, you get a call. Yes, I got your card the other day, blah, blah, blah. There you have a deal with the owner. Before you know it, you have an offer on the table. It is that powerful. Wherever you can do it, just do it. I didn't mind where I put my car, where I put my stuff. You can see behind me is the bush, but in front of me is the gate with security guys, which I got along very well all the time. So they were my company, but it is so effective. So that is where I also managed to sell that amount. With the biggest amount, there was 5 million of one property. The rest, even if they were less, but adding up together in that year, I sold 19 million worth of properties. The next slide. The next slide, Naledi. Okay. In 2023, then I joined the real estate services agency, and it was in that year that I finally made time to prepare myself and write my exam, PDE exam, and then I scored my 66%. And the NQF level 4, let me also share that I got exempted from it because I have qualifications already higher than that. And I'm preparing myself to the PDE level 5 in the coming years. I'm now a full status agent with level 4 qualification. I think the last slide is just a thank you slide. I'm really thankful to have been given the opportunity to share my experiences with all the audience who are here. Thank you so much for listening to my talk. Thank you, Naledi. Thank you.
Thank you, Ramina. Thank you for that. Let me exit here. Our second speaker was having challenges with the network. She's trying to rejoin. Also, Ramina, thank you so much for that presentation. And I think it will resonate, you know, especially with those who've been onboarded recently under the transformation program. You know, when you are starting out, obviously, you're going to face those challenges because it's a new space, you know, especially for the new entrants. And I think your presentation spoke. Obviously, I know property practitioners who might be in this webinar with extensive experience because they already know what you're saying. They've been there. You know, they might not, they feel like, okay, we've been there. But I think for these ones who received their certificate recently, who have been taken under transformation programs, it will be important for them when they feel like giving up, when they feel like, okay, this is not working, they can look back and remember in, you know, with this webinar and say, you know what, maybe let me hold on. My next opportunity, it might be around the corner, because what if I give up now and I was close to it? You know, challenges always come before your breakthrough. So I think it's important for that. But I want to ask you a question maybe while I wait for Gleina to join. And I'll also ask my team if they can check on the chats if we have questions. So, for example, because you know that marketing is important when now you have to expand. You spoke about brand visibility and that. What are the other tools that you're using for marketing? What are the other ways that our candidates can take from this when it comes to marketing, you know, especially in the beginning, because we touched on technology. And I think once we open up the floor, we can also allow other practitioners to, if they want to share comments and their experiences, and especially those who are principals, maybe they want to motivate the young ones who are in this webinar, you know, what they can look out for. But for you, because we've seen that some of the deals that you have made, when we speak of marketing, what else do you use? Or is it only that face-to-face where you sit next to estates and exchange of business cards that you tap into?
Thank you, Naledi. In terms of marketing, in the estates where I worked, for example, I developed a good relationship with the estate managers who manage the newsletters, and sometimes I will pitch my services there. I also used the Facebook, especially when I was still with Century 21. I also made sure that at school events, I also go there and just meet people and the parents who come to the school, you know, and sell my services. Over and above, you know, we go to that level. Me and my friends, sometimes we will just be by the robot, because we used to run this fun marathons. And we go there with the pamphlets. When we leave our cars, we put our business cards on the windscreen. Anyone can pick, and then we'll stand by the robot after the marathon to give out our pamphlets and business cards there. It worked so well, because many of them may not come back to you, but there is one or two that will say, I got your contacts when you were giving. And those are other ways that one can always try to advertise what you do. Obviously, the main ones are the websites that all the agencies use, that the Property 24, And then we also have private property. And yeah, those are some of the platforms that I always use for my adverts.
Okay, also, Ramina, I'm going to take questions now because while we wait for Qinile to
Okay.
join, I'm going to unmute everyone and we tackle the questions.
Okay.
Let me do this. Let me see on the chat. Okay. Also, Ramina, I have. Okay, I'm trying to check if we have any hands. We don't have any hands for her colleagues. If you have hands or comments for Ramina, or if you want to even share your story or a comment, or any challenges that other colleagues can take from, because remember we are just having a conversation today. Let me go to the chats and see if we have anyone. Okay, Mr. Box says, I'm still waiting for the transformation and the new implementation part. Can you elaborate more on which part in transformation are you looking at? Are you talking about the SMME advert we took out, or are you talking about opportunities for 18 to 35? Let me see. Maybe raise your hand and let's interact on that. I've given everyone access to the microphone and let's hear which opportunities specifically under that. Let me see if I don't have any questions for you here. Hi, can we have the presentation? Yes, we will share the presentations. I see Fisani, you can unmute and come in.
Good day. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I'm Fisani, and I felt the need to ask this question. I thought maybe it'd be something that I ask on the side, but since we are speaking of this transformation and implementation, I just have a question around the One Learner and One Property practitioner program that PPRA initiated. I don't know if this is the platform, but I was one of the participants in the program. But everything that the lady has been talking about is very nice and pleasing. But it's unfortunate that as a participant of this program, there was not much. Well, I'm speaking for myself, and this is what I've experienced. I've been really disappointed at the outcome and how it happened. It was very discouraging for someone who wants to be in this line of in this space. It was a good program, as I said, but it seemed more like a paper exercise than a meaningful development and what the initiative stands for. So I just want to know what is PPRA doing actively to ensure that this program actually surfaces it gives a meaningful development and all these the nice terms that everyone's talking about, the initiative, the implementation and transformation, because the program is there on paper. We spent our time, we attended the program, but no one actually saw it through to finish to ensure that we get what the program was meant to produce. So I don't know who is responsible for this. Well, I know the people that we were interacting with. I've tried so many times to follow up and get feedback. I was an attendee in the 2022 program. But throughout all these years, I have email trails following up, but no one actually takes accountability to give feedback on what it is exactly that's still expected on my side. We went to classes, we did everything, we did practical work, but there's no response from the other end. So, like I said, to me, it looked like just a paper exercise at the expense of our time and efforts.
So I want to just maybe find out what disappointed you. You were taken as a one learner, one property practitioner, you were placed with a host employer, you attended your training and your classes, you received your stipend and you were competent, you completed and you wrote your PDE4 exam. And at the end, what was the disappointment, so that maybe it's clear? Because also our supervisor is here, maybe she will come through. She knows most of the projects. What was the disappointment at the end after the program has ended? Because I wanted to understand it properly.
There was no engagement. We were supposed to get the certificates. There was just no engagement. When I follow up, there's hardly ever a response. I'm being sent to, well, not to pillar to post, because there's no one that I got. I even asked, who can I follow up with? Who's the next person in line that would give me
Yeah.
some type of response? But till today.
So who was helping you with the training? That external service provider, skill service provider, do you remember? It's Millset. So you're still waiting for a certificate. That was the only thing, the certificate. And what else?
Well, we were told we were supposed to get the certificates after the program. I don't know what was
And
to
you have
follow
not
after
received.
that. Yes.
Okay. Can you drop us your email and maybe let's check what could have been the issue, why you didn't get your certificate? Siba, do you want to add on that before I go to the second question on in 2022 group?
Good day, Naledi. Yes, I'm aware of Fisani's situation. She's part of the previous cohort, and I believe maybe some of them may also have a similar question in regards to their certificates. So what took quite a while in getting their certificates completed was the external moderation. The external moderation only occurred in July. I think it was the 7th, or it was from the 3rd to the 7th of July. That's when the external moderation took place with the service provider. And then after that, the certificates were then delivered in sometime in October. So, and at this point in time, we are working to get the certificates delivered to all of the services SETA offices, regional offices for learners to collect. That is one of the activity that we're trying to do with Fisani. So if there's anything else, perhaps we can take it offline, Fisani, but otherwise, in terms of certificates, for those who are found competent, they will be getting their certificates. For those who were not found competent, will be getting their statements of results. I hope that clarifies everything. But however, if there's anything else, perhaps, Fisani, we can take it offline. I'll just drop my email address in the chat box for certificate-related questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Siba, for that. Please drop us your email address so that we can call you and email you and help you after the webinar. And we do apologize for that experience you went through, but I'm happy you completed all the program from the beginning up until it was closed. Let me go to the Clarinelda. I'm sorry, I beg your pardon if I'm butchering your name. Clarinelda, am I pronouncing it properly? Please unmute.
Yes, that was absolutely perfect. Lots of people get it wrong.
Okay.
Thank you for this webinar. I think it is so important that we have discussions like that, open discussions, without fear of retribution. Like that lady, I love the fact that she came on and she said what her issue is. And I think we need to have these open discussions. I basically joined because I thought we were going to speak more about transformation, right? So I am a real estate business owner. I started my business 3 years ago. It was not easy. If we talk about transformation, and I don't want to make it a race issue, but let's also be honest, it is a race issue. There are lots of gatekeepers. I was trying to get to work on a development, and I was told, they give different reasons. They don't say that you are not white enough. They give you just different reasons why you can't be part of selling that new development. And obviously, I mean, I was working for a very big company in Stellenbosch area, and I sold these developments when I was part of that big company. And suddenly, because I now started my own business, they had different criterias as for why I cannot be selling or be part of the process. And I think these are really things that we need to get into, because running your own business is, the real estate industry is very much capital incentive. Property 24 as a 1-year program where they give, if you do own a business, and I'm also just putting it out there, so that people can know, where they give you all the things for free. But in 1 year, you cannot build yourself. Second year, they give you certain things for free. And then in the third year, obviously start paying more. It is impossible in 2 years to build your real estate business. Even in 3 years, what I'm actually saying is we need a little bit more buy-in from the PPRA, a little bit more. How are you going to put your foot down to really transform this industry, and where do we go to from here? I also applied for the One Learner, I can't remember the full name now, but I applied for that process. Unfortunately, I did not qualify. So the question that I wanted to ask was, what happened to those learners? Are they all placed? Because I'm actually in need of real estate agents. And it's true what the lady said who was speaking. She said it is a competitive business, number one. It is it's only working on commission. A real estate agent wakes up every morning unemployed, and every morning and he needs to put in hard work, because it's also a very ungrateful job. But unfortunately, we need people who are serious, and there are young people that is actually killing it in this industry. I'm not young anymore. I'm also not very old. I don't want to say my age, but I am old enough. I was actually told that I'm expired to go for a normal job. So there are young people that's really killing that is interested. And I think we should invest in those people, not just people who wants to come in, get a stipend for a year, and then they fall out. I think we should get the stipend for a year and then sign a contract where they will actually be working for a year or two to get that license after the stipend has been paid. Because when they're done with the stipend, they leave, and they basically, what I'm saying is they actually do it for the stipend. They're not interested really in working in that industry. And then you find ladies like the lady who just spoke, who is actually really interested in the position. So I think there should be a better a way of actually grading the people who who um, who we employ or we get on board for the stipend process, for lack of better words, basically. Thank you so much. I would like to hear also from the PPRA as what are we actually doing to transform the industry so that people like me can also be inclusive. I am a colored woman, principal in a white area, and I feel the doors are not being swung open. Even when I worked for I don't want to mention names, but even when I worked in Stellenbosch for this big company, I was told that I was only allowed to work in certain areas. And other people were allowed to work in the areas that was more affluent. And it actually really knocked my self-image, because I had to actually ask myself, am I not good enough to sell the 6 and 7 million rand properties? And yet I came second when I worked at this company, but I had to work so much harder to earn my commission, because I was not that I was competing, I was just working hard because I needed to put bread on my table. I had to compete to people that were selling 4 and 5 million rand properties, and I had to work in areas that were selling properties below 1 million. I still came second, and that is how hard I had to work. So my question that I'm putting out there again is just, what is the PPRA really doing to bring transformation to the industry? Thank you so much.
Thank you. On the issue of selling in certain areas, I know our CEO is very passionate about that, because It's highlighted in our new legislation. It's Section 63. And, it's something that she's making sure that, no one is left out. So I think as well, because she's assisted by our executive, Clarence Caton, I'm going to put my email on the chat and maybe write to us on that, and I'll take it to our enforcement and compliance. It's our adjudication department. They do disciplinary hearings, so they can look into your matter and they can see how they can support you on that. And we will send our inspections department as well. So I'll put my email. And then on the question of PPRA, what are we doing in respect to transformation? Obviously, because of everything that we do, we are legislated. You will see under Chapter 4, there's programs that we have to do under transformation. You have your one learner, one property practitioner. You have your principalization. You have your SMME incubation. And if you follow us closely, you will see on social media, we are continuously updating and posting so that practitioners can see what we are doing. And we always welcome practitioners who are willing to hold hands and work with us when it comes to transformation. Like, for example, now we have advertised SMME. It's on the website. It's on our social media. And you're saying you are left out, you can also apply. It's not only for African, Black, you are colored, you can apply. If you're a principal, SMME is one of the opportunities that we support startup businesses. We support your historically disadvantaged individual. You get a fund from the PPRA, from the Fidelity Fund, which will help you in growing your business so you can eventually be sustainable and create jobs for others that will come back. Yes, obviously, we know the challenges that we face, because you have to remember that the PPRA Act started in 2022. And some of the things, I know SMME, the first one, it was in 23-24 financial year, where they've awarded 17 principals and they were given a grant. The second one, it was 24-25 financial year, where we've given 25. The one as well, we also advertised now. And I know our CEO is also supporting in working with franchises around to see who can assist and who can come on board and help, in the transformation, because, with transformation, it takes all of us to be able to do it. And the one learner one, we know that principals in the industry, they have been helping as well to host the new entrants, the candidates, where they are placed in their offices, where they give them training, because some of the training they get it from theory. That's why we place them with your skills development providers externally who will give them theory training. Then we have those host employers who also take on the learners. And the numbers, I know we've done more than 1,000, since the new act, because you'd remember there's also a project that was done in KZN where the idea, it was 700 learners, and eventually those who were competent, it was 612 learners. And we posted on it, we've sent the feature and bulk emailed it as well to let everyone know. The pass rate, it was 85%. We also have one in Northern Cape, in Bloemfontein, in Johannesburg, there's been quite a few. So in me saying that, obviously, that we are trying as a PPRA to transform using these programs, because even if we're trying to transform, we must still stay within the processes and the legislation, because we are being audited by Auditor General. So we have to make sure that we follow the process, but I understand we have to be flexible, right? So I recognize that obviously there'll be stumbling blocks. We heard our last speaker. We can't come to a webinar and speak and say everything is perfect. It's not. There's challenges that are there. There's also other host employers who are feeling that, they're frustrated. Maybe they might not even get proper support, and the learners, they come, they don't get retained, they drop out. We have to talk about those ones. There's learners who don't last, they drop out. So obviously it's one of the things that PPRA must look into, that to say, why can't we retain? But in us retaining, we need obviously a person to take a responsibility. If you are given an opportunity and you receive a stipend and you are, I know it's not a lot in South Africa. Obviously, we cannot say it's enough. It's not. But I think if we can continue, allow PPRA to hold you by the hand when the host employer is holding you by the hand, continue, because one day you will also own your own business. And because of, I mentioned that the Act started in 2022, we have what we call a Property Sector Transformation Fund. PPRA, the Transformation Fund, it doesn't have enough funding. So it's one of the other challenges that we are having internally, where now we have to go out and source funding. We have to speak with the banks. It's what we've been doing now, and private sectors, and see how they can assist us. As currently we are being assisted by Services SETA only. And we've seen the challenges with the SETAs, with the risks that are coming with the challenges that they are having in relying on one funding to transform the whole of South Africa. It's going to be difficult. So we do try to look for more funding out there. If we were to we get funding, we will increase the number of the learners that we would need to take, because you need to remember that under the one learner, the property practitioners we want to transform, we pay for their Fidelity Fund certificate, we pay for stipend, we pay for the training that they do with the skills development provider, we pay for the material guide, we pay for the exam, and they will finish in 12 months. Hopefully, obviously, we don't want them to leave to say, now you're done, you complete. We want you now to go to NQF 5, and you now end up writing PDE 5, and eventually, growing after being a full status to being a principal. And the one for principalization, some of the funding that we have been managing to get, which is also not a lot compared that with the stats and the numbers of South Africans. We know we are more than, 68 million in the country, if you look at the stats. So how many majority is those who fall under as Black people that we have to transform? So if we have one source of income to do that, it's going to be challenging. So we need to obviously be innovative and look for other ways. And we have to convince, again, even government to assist. So with the principalization now, I think we have started. Those who already have NQF 5, we now help them to write the exam, because we understand property practitioner is not a full-time salary. They rely on commission. So what PPRA is trying to do is to say, okay, you have the FFC, let us help you write the exam, let us help you get the material. Also other ones where they already have NQF 4, they will be assisted to write PDE 4. And all of these initiatives, you must remember there will be challenges here and there, but we appreciate, all of the comments to say fix here, then we can go back with the team and to say, okay, fine, how can we improve this? Do we need to look at the policy, update this policy so that we can accommodate it, so that we can open doors for others? So I think it's some of the things that we are trying. I know the CEO as well, she's pushing hard on her side. She's been talking to BASA, Banking Association of South Africa. We are meeting intergovernmental entities. We're presenting, we're doing proposals, so they can see the vision. They can see what PPRA is trying to do in the real estate sector for everyone. It's not for Blacks only. Because I know you're saying you feel like you are left out, but there's programs that one can participate on. And also transformation, it's not only for those who want to be in the program to participate in something. We also welcome, even if you are white, you can come and say, I want to transfer skills. Because you have to admit it, like the white sector and the white property practitioners, they've been doing this for years and they've perfected and they're good. I would say you rather learn from those who know. So anyone who's willing to work with PPRA to say, this is where we can help. We can see the gap where people are going wrong. I have this skill and I've seen where people are failing. We want to engage and we can say, come, let's do a webinar. Let's teach everyone who's under transformation on how we can improve on those issues. But let me go to the second hand, Onigwa. Onigwa.
Good day. I think I am answered now because I wanted to ask the same question that the lady was asking, because I think I was with her on Millset because we were there in Woodstock doing the one learner thing, but we never got any certificate or results. We tried to email SIBA and Zizipo, but they never give us the answers even today. So I just wanted to find out how do you know that you were incompetent? Because when I was checking on the website, I didn't find anything.
Mm.
So there
Okay.
was no feedback, there was nothing.
Okay, can you drop your email address on the chat? I'm also going to put my email address on the chat so that we give you feedback today. Let me go to the other hand while you put your email address. Let's go to Lindy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good morning.
Morning.
I think I'm just going to go back to the lady who raised about transformation, the one from Stellenbosch. We are 100% Black company, real estate. The sad thing is, with the years that we have been in property, compared to our white counterparts, you would swear that we just started. Just going to raise two major things. You get your big companies, obviously we're not here to mention names, which are part of the panels of the banks. I don't know if PPRA is able to tap into that department where they give properties to sell. We are all qualified. We have NQF5s, we have PDE5s, but we are just stagnant. That is a very sad thing. When are we as Black people going to get to places where everybody else is? And we have institutions like PPRA that can be our voice. You go to the banks, no, sorry, you can't be part of the panel. And you have a track record of actually doing well in the space that you're at. So if that can be looked into, we have complied with the PPRA in every possible way, but having to go out there and get the actual job, it's very challenging. I just thought that I need to bring that to your attention.
Yeah, and you're quite right. You're quite right, because as you've heard, I did say the CEO is talking to the banks with that. You're talking about distressed properties, sitting in a panel of banks. She's trying to push them, because as well, she's doing this alone. You can imagine, as a Black female, as a CEO in the sector, you go to banks, you're saying, this is what I want. It's a bit challenging, but I can assure you, this is something she's really passionate about. She's been pushing it. I know she's talking to ABSA and FNB. I went to her even to the FNB meeting, and I've heard her speak about that. But I'll go maybe after this webinar. I'll just talk to her about it, so that we can find out, okay, where are you with this, and we can revisit it. Maybe she can also, she will guide us, obviously, if our board can assist in this, sometimes, because you need a support to hold hands with the other departments so that your voices can be heard. But you're quite right. And maybe to answer your question, yes, she is doing that. Maybe we'll do another webinar where we can invite her in the webinar. Maybe we can give these feedbacks,
Okay.
Let me go to Mr. Bok.
Morning, how
Okay,
are
there's
you?
someone laughing. Let me just unmute them. Sorry about that.
Morning, how are you?
Morning, sir. Fine.
Regarding the learner program, I've had a bad experience here. wasn't good enough. And most of the students that I was with, they also know that it wasn't good enough. Our program was really rushed because first thing, we were not placed at the workplace. And secondly, we had to do most of the work with a lecturer who was contacted by Milzet. We actually did the whole year's work within 3 months. So for now, and then our host employer, he was supposed to open a branch in Northern Cape. He hasn't done that. And we don't have our login details as we spoke to Property 24. I think it was 3 months back, and we haven't received our login details. So as from Northern Cape, we feel left out actually. But we managed to pass actually. We're still waiting for our certificate. So I'm wondering the next step will also be like that because we feel very left out. And by the way, we are in Kuruman Northern Cape. Thank you.
Okay, maybe before I can add, Siba, do you want to add anything on that? Are you aware that they did it for 3 months? I'm not aware of that. Do you have do you want to comment on that before I can come in?
Yes, I am aware of the Northern Cape situation. We did have a sit down with Services CETA in that regard, as to what had happened and what were the delays. I think we can take it offline with Mr. Bok and then discuss it, but there was an engagement with Services CETA and the training provider Milzet in that regard. Oh, and sorry, and as well as with Mr. James, who was then the host employer for that particular area. And Tepang is also in the group, so I think we can take it offline and then discuss it with them. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Mr. Bok, I think we will give you a ring after the webinar. Let me go to the Selani. The Selani, can you please unmute? Colleagues, while he's still trying to unmute, I did send the CEO a message, and I think the answers that I've given, they're quite correct. She's saying she's still busy with the banks on that process. So maybe we'll come back to the webinar once she has done the process. The Salani, you're not winning. Let me go to the chats. Let me see who do we have on the chats. And I want to apologize. Our second speaker, she's really, really struggling with her connection. I was also looking forward to that presentation on Triple BE, you know, herself as being an entrepreneur. I wanted to hear what she was going to say on that, you know, especially as a 100% Black-owned female coming up an entrepreneur. How did she make it? Okay, there's no questions. Let me see. I'm scrolling the chats now. I want to see Clarinelda, we replied her. Did you manage to unmute? Someone is speaking. Okay, I don't see. The Salani, you unmuted. Can you pose your question? Okay, he muted.
Hear me now?
Yes, you try. Let's hear.
All right. No, I just have few input. Because I've just qualified as a principal, so I intend setting an SME. But I feel that I'm looking at the program that you were talking about, that you're advertising currently on the website. I think that it's too much dependent on the established agent, which I can tell you I'm not hopeful. This thing, I think that it's not going to use
Disalani. Disalani. I can't hear you properly, but I could hear the first part. So those who couldn't hear him, he's asking about the SMME opportunity advertised. He recently qualified as a principal. So maybe you wanted to find out if you can apply. The requirements are clear on the application form. You must have worked for 12 months as a principal. You see, because we need that experience. Remember, when you're a principal, especially holding a trust account, we don't want misappropriation of funds. We want somebody with experience because we must also protect consumers. So, but come back next year. We advertise every year because it's in our APP target. You can apply on that one. I see here on the chart, if there is anyone that is looking to be placed, I would like to speak to the PPRA with regards to that. Clarinelda, we also have a pledge form on our website where you pledge and we can have you on our database. Once we get more funding from SETA and we advertise and we take more learners, then we know that we can come and knock at your door, and we appreciate for that. Thank you so much. But my email address, it's on the chat. And maybe also send me an email. I'll pin it so that it's easier for everyone. Adelina says, I just wanted to find out, as discussed, as a full status agent, hearing that they are stipend for NQF4 and PDE4, are there any programs or opportunities available for NQF5 and PDE5? So colleagues, maybe let's clarify first. The NQF4 and NQF5, they're not done by PPRA. It's done externally. PPRA will assist you with professional designation exam, which is PDE4. It's done by anyone who has NQF4. Then the PDE5 is written by anyone who has NQF5. So what you've heard us speaking about, that SETA has started something new in assisting those who have NQF4 and NQF5. They will help you to sit for exam. You get a stipend. They pay for your study material and for your exam when it comes, according to the PPRA dates. The next exam is in February 2026. The next one is in May 2026 and. So these programs, they will come as and when. We wait for SETA to tell us when we can start them. But yes, you are quite right. We do support those who have NQF5 already or have been exempted. You must have a letter of exemption in the real estate qualification. Then you have FFC, you belong to a company already, and you can apply. And I know somebody can also say, yes, but I've applied and maybe I didn't go through. So SETA will let you know, that will let us know as PPRA to say, we want Pretoria only. Then you find that you are in KZN, but you qualify. So we will take you when we do the KZN project. And then on the NQF4 and 5, even though it's done externally, we are still trying to talk to SETA if they can assist, even when we are still looking for funding externally, if they can assist us in, supporting the practitioners in getting qualification, because I know it can be expensive to get a qualification. So, getting that support, and we pay for you to do it, it's something we are hoping they can approve us on that one. And let me see if there's another question. Lebo says, thank you, PPRA, for your efforts on different matter by FFC I think you wanted to say but my FFC is expiring this year, December. I applied for renewal in August and I'm still waiting. I sent email to Samkele, but I received no response. Okay. So with the renewal, Lebo, you saw that the CEO posted a video on all our social media. They did say you can continue to pay for a renewal. If you have paid, you can, it's fine, don't panic. Your FFC is expiring in December 2025. You can still sell, you can still trade, you can still lease. It will come, the FFC 1 January. Because anyway, even if you were going to get it now, it was still going to show January 2026, right? Because it's a 3-year cycle. So this one, maybe for your peace of mind, I'll follow up for you. I'll help you. There's my email address there. I'll speak to Samukele just to check your status. because remember they're overhauling the system. Then as long as it shows that you've paid, you are in, everything is fine, they will send you an email, don't worry, January, then they will print for you. You will get your FFC. So this one, it's still valid. The one of December, you can use it. Let's go to Neo. It seems to me that communication is very lacking with the follow-up of post-training. Could this be sorted? Because if there are people who did not, I think it's spelling error, who did not in the webinar, who were not, maybe you want to say who were not in the webinar, but also waiting, they will not know what is happening. It can be very demoralizing not know what is happening. So now you are saying, I hope I'm right, you're talking about communication of PPRA as a whole, that it's lacking and you're not receiving the communication the way you're supposed to receive it. And if you were not in the webinar, people were not going to know about these things. So when we do webinars, we send information to our communications department to bulk mail all property practitioners who are on the system who have FFC. And some of the emails, they bounce. You find that the practitioner is no longer using that email address. And some practitioners, I always say, even when I do physical stakeholder engagements or webinars, practitioners, use your Gmail account. Even if you move from Remax, you go to Ntlantla Properties, at least if it's your Gmail, PPRA will always have that Gmail for life as long as you are active, you are in the system. So when we send out communication, you won't miss anything. But you see, if you do your FFC and you do it under Siva Properties, and then you resign and you're fighting now with your principal, you go to another firm, EXP, so on, you do another email of EXP at so on, we still have that old email you have not updated. So you will miss some of the communication. So it's better you do your personal email, you get everything. But also remember, everything that we bulk mail, we also post. This is why you need to follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and TikTok now, PPRA SA on TikTok. So some of the notices on education, some of the webinar dates and adverts and opportunities, they are on all our social media. We also try to put on our website on the homepage, maybe every day, before you start your day, just go ppra.org.za, see if there's no new announcements, because I know they're also revamping the website, but we still post on the website information. And you can still call the office. You can, all our managers in all the departments, you can WhatsApp them. I've seen property practitioners, they WhatsApp. If they have a question or query, we answer them on WhatsApp. It's easier, it's quick. And then virtual meetings. Any department, if you have a concern, they're willing to meet you on virtual meetings. Ask for a meeting, they will see you. Also, sometimes just do a walk-in, they're available to help you. So with communication, we do send it out. But I've seen with also other property practitioners, I would send an email from my stakeholder email telling them something, even if it's 2 lines, they'll come and ask me to say, I will say, for example, email these applications for transformation to SMME. And they will reply and say, sorry, where do I send the applications? But it's there. I've said it on the email, you see. So I think some of the things, if they can, I know they're busy, but if you take a minute to just see, you'll find that the information is already there. Let's go to another question. You should change Milzet as a service provider. They are providing poor service. I agree with you, and I think they're no longer going to use them. But if I'm wrong, Siba will correct me. Let's go to Khitsone. Good morning, colleagues. I hope you are all well. I would also like to give a ring, as I was in the same cohort with Mr. Bok. Khitsone, please give us your email address. Tepang, Siba, Annalisa, Mike, Lefa, Zizi, they're in this webinar right now. Put your email address, they will take it, and then the project holder who was helping you, they will be in touch, they will call you, and they will help you so you get your feedback today. Let me see. My email address is also there. Siba also put her email address on the chat. She's our supervisor in transformation. Let us help you put your email address there. So, and I was also hoping to hear some of the comments and, challenges you are facing as property practitioners on the ground. So us as Transformation, we can know where we're gonna, deal with. I was hoping for more of those conversations since, well, it's a friendly discussion today. Let me see if I have Mr. Bok. You've dropped your email. Siva, Mr. Bok dropped his email there. Siva also replied to the communication one. Thank you, Siba, for that. Also referred it to Tsepang. Tsepang, please look at the chat. Let me see, there's another hand. Maybe we have a follow-up from Fisani. Fisani, please come through.
No, I'm sorry, I raised it by mistake and I couldn't put it down. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, all right, no problem. Let me share this, colleagues, so you can see where you can, the handles, where you can follow us on social media. You can take a picture, you follow us there. This is where we send all the communication, all the opportunities on social media. The slides that were presented by Osremina, I'm going to share them after the webinar. Mr. Bok.
How are you, ma'am?
We are fine.
Is this opportunity, I think it was a few months back, I applied for an opportunity in Standard Bank as an agent there. So to apply for it, you need your FFC and your employer's FFC. So when I asked for the FFC from my employer, he refused to give me that, and I'm wondering why.
Your employer does not want to give, doesn't he put it on the wall? Can you tell us who's
No.
the principal?
The problem is that
Eh?
the problem is that my principal,
Yes.
his office is in Bloemfontein.
Yes.
And then I'm in Northern Cape, Kuruman.
Yeah.
And then we don't have a branch here in Kuruman. So that's why
So you
when I
work
said
virtual, your offices are virtual.
Virtually, we don't even communicate nowadays. It's been months since our last communication.
And you are registered under this firm, you're holding a FFC under this firm, and you don't have a good relationship with your principal.
And the problem is that most of us we received our FFC. So even we try to talk them virtually or what. Because I asked him last night, I want to apply for Standard Bank. So should he please send me the Pololopelo's FFC, and refused to give me that.
Okay, yeah, no, that's a tricky one because this looks like from employer to employee, but your contract, what does it say? Maybe he's not happy that you're going to work somewhere else.
No, it's not like working somewhere else. It's just you are selling the online stock via Standard Bank. They have a stock online, so you apply to sell for them online.
But you know what? Unless I will link you, or Siba, you want to? Okay, Siba wants to answer you on that. Come through, Siba.
No, I was gonna say, Naledi, this sounds like a more of an employer, as what you said, an employer-employee matter, and therefore we wouldn't be able to then come in from that aspect. You were on the program previously, because I mean, if you're with Ponelopelo Realty, you were with the Northern Cape Group, right? If I'm correct in saying? Yes. So and you're still employed by Mr. James.
Yes, I'm still employed by him because I'm still waiting for him so he can sign for me to write the PDE4.
You want to write the PD? You don't need Mr. James FFC for the PDE4. If you've got your FFC, you can then
it's not for the PDE4. For I was talking to Sepan last. He said I need a letter of recommendation to apply to write for PDE4 from my host employer, which is Mr. James. So the problem I had with James is that I was applying to sell stock for Standard Bank online, and then he refused to.
Sorry to interrupt you, to cut you there. I think the learners in Northern Cape and Northwest, I'm not sure, but I think, can we take it offline, because you guys will have similar problems, and so we can then touch on it and discuss it, because you were all placed at the same place. So can I just request that, Naledi, we take it offline with them? I've sent a message in the group to just ask Tepang to put together a meeting for all of us to then sit and discuss the challenges that they have in that side. But however, with the Standard Bank issue and the FFC issue, Mr. James's FFC issue, I think that is an employer-employee matter that we cannot get into, though. other matters we can assist with. Thank you.
All right, thank you. But the problem, you know what, the most challenging thing is that when you apply for this program, you expect that there will be a bridge so you can do your practicals on it. But there was no bridge for us to do our practicals on it. So most of the training we have is only virtual training.
So when you're saying practicals, you were not going to the offices every day?
We were not placed at an office. We had no branch.
Oh, okay. Okay, but it's fine. But I'm sure there was a register to show that there was something that you were doing. Okay, Siba, it's fine. I'll allow you can have the meeting with him. Let me go to Clarinelda.
Hello. I was
Hi.
just trying to answer Mr. Bach. I think because I'm part of that, so the banks have a program where they sell repossessed properties online, and for that you need an FFC. And I'm not sure how the One Learner program works, but I'm sure he can, if he has the FFC, he can go onto the PPRA online and take his FFC from there. I'm just thinking that that is what he's looking for. He doesn't have to go
Yes.
through his employer
No.
to get the FFC. He can take it from the website, as I said, and hand it to whichever bank he's busy dealing with. Thank you.
However, I have my FFC, but after applying for it, you have to also apply your employer's FFC. You have to also put it online, send it to them to show that you are employed under a specific company.
Okay, but did you hear she was saying, because she also applied for it, or do you want to maybe exchange a number, Clarinelda, to explain the Standard Bank how you applied to help him?
That will be nice.
Okay. Okay, I'll put
Okay.
it in the chat.
Thank you so
thank you.
much. And there's another one from Kaya. How does the PPRA accommodate attorneys, conveyancers running their own law firms in respect of compliance when they want to act as property agents as well, since we have our own FFC, and also wanting to ensure we comply with PPRA process and not contravene the PPRA processes in terms of compliance? Yes, attorney employees, they have to register with PPRA and have FFC. If you know those who don't have, you can submit a complaint anonymously on our website, and our legal department, they can take it up. There is another one. Let me see. I'm on the Q&A space now. I just want to see. Lebo says, thank you, PPRA, for your efforts on a different matter. My FFC expired. Okay, this one we've answered. There's another one from Fatima. I think we also answered previously. Disadvantage that grew up in apartheid years. Can PPRA kindly lesser our FFC fees? Fatima, you can write to us. We can escalate to our CEO and she can give that matter attention. There's another one here. I think we did answer this one. Let me go back to the chat. We are 6 minutes to closing the webinar. Let me take the last comment from Adelina on the chat. My concerns and challenges as a full-time estate agent working on commission-based income is indeed challenging. When working on unstable income, as especially when it comes to us purchasing the same properties that we are helping our client buy, is a struggle with these issues. Is there any way that the PPRA can assist us as estate agent with financial institution to offer us more favorable mortgage terms or other benefits by at least reducing interest rates, lower deposits, requirement, flexible repayments terms, because it's serious struggle? Obviously, because interest, they're done by the bank. I'm not sure how PPRA, all I can tell you is that PPRA is one of the sister entities under human settlements, and there are other programs under human settlements with the other entities called NHFC. They have what we call first home finance. So First Home Finance, they can assist one in buying. You get a grant from them. They subsidize you, and you can go to the bank, identify the property that you wanted to buy, and they can assist. Please look up First Home Finance. It's under NHFC, and they will assist with that. I saw a hand, or no, there's no hand. Okay, thank you for sharing the number. Okay, so colleagues, we don't have hands anymore. We don't have more questions. We don't have chats. So I just want to conclude today's session and extend our sincere appreciation for your active participation, all the comments, all the help in the meeting that we received, and apologies that we couldn't give the presentation on BBBEE as our speaker could not connect all together. I think it's the area maybe where she is. So we can see technology is still a challenge. So today, obviously, we took away from one of our speakers, Remina, to endure and just have that resilience in the space. Also, Remina, I want to thank you so much. Do you want to give us our last comment before I close, also, Remina?
Hello.
Your last comment before we close?
No, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to share my experiences. And I also want to thank all the audiences. And I have put my name and my email address on my last slide. Please share my presentation, even if it wasn't polished to that level, but I'm willing to share it as it is. And anyone who wants to contact me and have a chat with me, I'm very much available, and I enjoy talking about this work that we do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. And Amelia, thank you so much for the comment that you put on the chat, colleagues. Thank you once again for joining us. We look forward again to another webinar. We will continue to share them on our social media. Those who are going to have lunch, because we are approaching 12, enjoy your lunch. Those who are driving to your other appointments, please drive safe. And those who are standing in solidarity for Women for Change, let us continue in support, and let's continue talking up about these issues in South Africa, because generation to come, they rely on us to speak up on issues. Colleagues, thank you. I will put the recorder on YouTube. Look for it tomorrow. And for queries, there's my email address. Let us help you. And yes, have a wonderful day. Goodbye. Thank you, Transformation team. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.